Hello everyone, welcome back to the session of English. In this session, we are going to continue with our topic comprehension ability. Now, this is part number 27. So, till now, we have already done 26 parts on comprehension ability, or you can say reading comprehensions, in which we have already discussed so many passages that you can now have an idea that how to solve short passages as well as the long passages. So in this session as well, we are going to discuss some reading comprehensions and how many are these and what are these. Let us discuss it over here. In this session, we will discuss three passages. That is passage number 13, then passage number 14, and then passage number 15. Also, we will be doing questions based on these passages with detailed solutions. Okay, so let's begin these three passages. As I already told you that now we have started short passages. So first of all, we'll read the entire passage, and after that we'll go to the questions and start doing them. Okay, so let's begin the session. Well, here first we'll begin with the passage number 13. Okay, so here is the passage. We have the entire passage. First of all, we'll read the entire passage, and after that we'll go to the questions and start doing them. Okay, so first of all, let us start reading passage number 13. When we are suddenly confronted with any terrible danger, confronted means when we face any terrible danger, the change of nature we undergo is equally great. Okay, the change of nature, it means our state over there, or the situation in which we are in, that undergo is equally great. In some cases, paralyzes us. Sorry, in some cases, fear paralyzes us. It means paralyzes means it leave what fear leave our body as or you can say fear leaves our body as it is not movable. Okay, or it is you can say dead. Okay, so like animals, we stand still for just as animals do. We stand still, it means we remain stand over there, powerless, that as if we had no power to move a step in fright, because we are very very afraid and we cannot even move a single step ahead, or to lift a hand in defense of our lives. Even we do not lift or raise even a single hand to defend ourselves. And sometimes we are seized with panic as if panic had captured us. Okay, so seized with panic, in fact we just remain still as someone in panic or in fear, and again act more like the inferior animals. In fact, we behave like inferior animals who do not use their brain, who are very timid and who are very weak. Those animals who feel that now they will die. Then rational beings means practical. Okay, something practical. On the other hand means contrary. Now we are going to read some contradiction statement maybe. Frequently, in cases of sudden extreme peril, which cannot be escaped by flight and must be instantly faced, even the most timid man at once, if by miracle, become possessed of the necessary courage. Now, it also happens sometimes, as you must have seen in many cases, there, though we are very weak, though we cannot do anything, still, we don't know from where courage comes to us, and in that panic situation as well, we still our nerves, or our nerves are still. It means we are able to tackle that particular difficult situation even with calm, and we behave even though we are very timid, though we are very weak and shy, still we do something courageous just to defend ourselves. So it just, you can say that the instant response or reaction that comes in our life, that courage our life. Okay, that courage in our body, so it gives us life again. Sharp quick apprehension and swift decision, this is quick decision, okay, that we take from the inner part of our life. It means the last thing or last act that we do just to defend ourselves, or we just because of that courage we win. Okay, so this is a miracle very common in nature, and this miracle is very common in nature. For example, many times there are situations, for example, for a mother, it is said that if her child is in danger, so she acts courageously, and she fights even to the lion, to the demons, or to anything in the world just for the sake of her child. So that miracles appear, or that miracle appears. Men and the inferior animals alike, when confronted with almost certain death, gather resolution from despair. It means where there is no hope, they get solution from that hope. They get courageous, and even in that despair situation, or in that despair, it means when one has lost the hopes, lost all the hopes, even in that situation, they resolute, or you can say they find out some solution. But there can really be no trace of so debilitating a feeling in person fighting. Debilitating means weakening a feeling in the person fighting or prepared to fight for dear life. Okay. At such times, mind is clearer than it has ever been. The nerves are steel. Nerves are steel. It is a phrase used to depict that a person is in a situation for who can tackle even the hardest situation of his life, or the most fearful situation of his life, with ease. There is nothing felt but a wonderful strength and daring. Looking back at certain perilous means very dangerous moments in my own life. So here, this my refers to author. Okay, my, because this all passage is written by some author. So the author of this passage, he is showing that he has also come through such a situation. Looking back means when he's feeling nostalgic, or when when the feeling of his back life. Okay. Looking back at certain perilous moments in my own life, I remember them with a kind of joy. Not that there was any joyful excitement then, but because they brought me a new experience and a new nature, as it were, and lifted me for a time above myself. It means it realized him, or the author, that he faced all the situation courageously. So now he feels very lucky to be alive still. And also he just feel blessed to have faced such experiences, or because he got new experiences actually. So this was very nice passage. In fact, it is related to somewhere your lives as well. In fact, if you are reading this passage with me, you must be in your mind some situations like you have faced, like the author has in this paragraph. So might be you also have faced such a situation, or maybe you are imagining right now that what will happen if a person confronts such a situation. So maybe possible you must have confronted this type of situation in your life previously. So according to this passage, I hope that you have understood each and every point of this paragraph. So now let us discuss some questions related to this passage. Okay, so let's begin with some questions. I hope you liked this passage a lot. Okay, so this passage is really nice and very inspiring as well. So let us do questions. So this is question number 1 right now. An appropriate title for the above passage would be. Now, first of all, they are talking about the title. Now, title can only be given if you have read the entire passage. Also, you know that what the author's intention is behind writing this passage. Okay, so first of all, let us read the options, and then we'll decide that what can be the suitable passage to this suitable title to this passage. Okay, so here are the options: the will to fight, the miracle of confronting danger, the change of nature, or the courage and panic. Now, what I feel, if let us see all the words one by one, or all the options one by one. The will to fight. Now, in this passage, we have talked about some situations in which we might feel panic, or but we have shown courage at that time, or might feel courageous, but at that time we felt panic. So here we have talked about some situations that we come through. It is not like we are willing to fight, so this cannot be the suitable passage. The miracle of confronting danger. Now, here no miracle has been seen after confronting a danger. That was not a miracle. We are talking about our senses, how they work when we confront a danger. The change of nature? No, nothing has been talked about nature over here. So in the last, it has courage and panic. Yes, this is the most suitable title of this passage, or should be the most suitable title of the passage, because in this passage, in this entire passage, we have talked about some situations in which we feel panic, or on the other hand, we feel courageous all of a sudden. So here the suitable title for this passage should be D. That is courage and panic. I hope you got this answer again. Now let us discuss the another question. So now we have question number 2, and this question number 2 is, the author names 3 different ways in which a man may react to sudden danger. What are they? So they are talking about 3 different ways. Okay, 3 different ways in which can be shown, which can be the reactions of a man if he confronts a sudden danger. Okay, now the options are, he may flee in panic. Flee means run away, or fight back, or stand still. So here we have these 3 situations. First is flee in panic, it means run away, or maybe he fight back, or stand still, or just remain still. He may be paralyzed with fear, seized with panic, or act like an inferior animal. Okay, so these are the 3 situations. Now if third one, he may be paralyzed with fear or seized with panic, or as if by miracle become possessed of the necessary courage and face the danger. So here 3 situations are paralyzed with fear, seized with panic, or by miracle face the danger. He may be paralyzed with fear, run away, or fight. So what are the 3 things? Now if you see the first 3 lines, what are the 3 situations? In some cases fear paralyzes us, so one is paralyzes. Okay, like animals we stand still, paralyzed and fright. Okay, and sometimes we seized with panic. So first situation is paralyzed and other one is seized with panic. Act more like inferior animals than rational beings. On the other hand, frequently cases of sudden extreme peril which cannot be escaped by flight and must be instantly faced, even though most timid men at once, if by miracle, become possessed of necessary courage. It means there can be 3 situations: paralyzed with fear, run away, or fight. Okay, so the answer will be D, because this is the case that we can see over here. Okay, then rational beings on the other hand. Okay, so according to these 3 lines, the last option is all correct. Now if we see the first, second, and third options, he may flee in panic. No, he's seized in panic, not flee in panic. Or fight back, or stand still. No, he does not stand still. In fact, he feel paralyzed. He may be paralyzed with fear, seized with panic, or act like an inferior animal. Now here 2 situations are correct, that is paralyzed with fear or seized with panic. But act like inferior animal is not the third situation. Third situation is to fight. He may be paralyzed with fear or seized with panic, or as if by miracle become possessed of the necessary courage and face the danger. So here we can say that fear paralyzes us, like stand we still, and fright. Okay, so here 2 things are same, or seized with panic. Okay, and again okay, run away or fight. So here according to this, once if by miracle become possessed, and apprehension swift decision. This is miracle, very common in nature. So according to this situation, because whenever we are seized with panic, we do not stand over there. In fact, we behave like inferior animals. That is why we ran away. Okay, so this is actually because run away is that we are not acting smartly. Therefore the D answer will be correct. Okay, now let us move to the next one. So the next question is, the distinction between inferior animals and rational beings. Distinction means difference between. So we are talking about inferior animals and rational beings. The former are incapable of fighting. The latter are cleverer. The latter are stronger, or the latter are capable. Latter means the second one, the another one, that is rational beings. The latter are capable of reasoning things out, whereas the former cannot do so. Of course, if we talk about rational beings and inferior animals, inferior who are those animals who do not act wisely, whereas rational beings are those who uses their logical and their senses. They are logical and they behave logically. So they do not panic, okay, and they try to face the situation. That is rational beings. And inferior animals, they are just seized with panic, okay. So according to this, D will be the correct answer. That is, the latter are capable of reasoning things out, whereas the former cannot do so. So rational beings are the latter one and the inferior animals are the former one. So we are talking about the rational beings, and we are differentiating both the type of animals or beings that obviously if they are rational, they will think logically, and they use their reasoning and things and capable of reasoning the things out, okay, whereas the former cannot do so, okay. So now let us move to the next one. The next question is, explain the phrase gather resolution from danger. As you can see over here, gather resolution from despair. Now it is written over here gather resolution from despair, but they are asking about the meaning of gather resolution from danger. So let us see the options. Find hope and courage. A state of utter hopelessness steals one to fight out the danger. Not to lose hope but fight. Find courage to face the danger. Of course, as I told you, gather resolution, it means to find out the solution from danger, to face the danger, or even in a situation when you must have lost all the hopes. So its answer should be D. That is, find courage to face the danger, because we have talked about danger over here, not despair, okay. Now let us move to the next one. And the next question is, the author feels happy in recollection of dangers faced and overcome because they brought him a new experience. They brought him a new experience and lifted him above himself for a time. He survived his ordeal, and he was lucky to be alive. Now if you see this last line, I remembered them with a kind of joy. Not that was there any joyful excitement then, but because they brought me a new experience and a new nature, as it if as it were, and lifted me for a time above myself. Therefore here the correct answer will be B, as it is given. They brought him a new experience and lifted him above himself for a time, okay. Now I hope you understood the entire passage very well. Now this is passage number 14, which we are going to discuss right now. First of all, we'll read the entire passage, and after that we'll do the questions based on it, okay. So let us read this passage number 14. I hope you understood passage number 13 very well. Now this is passage number 14. The artificial ways of inducing sleep are legion and are only alike in their effectuality. In Lavengro, there is an impossible character. Impossible means which cannot be done, okay, which is not possible. So maybe that character is not, you can say this is just imaginary. So the artificial ways of inducing sleep, inducing means to create sleep, are legion and are only alike in their ineffectuality. Ineffectuality means the difference in or the different effects that they create. In Lavengro maybe is a novel or anything. There is an impossible character, a victim of insomnia. Insomnia is a disease in which one is lacks of sleep, or one who lacks of sleep. It means he does not feel sleepy. He does not feel drowsy, or he's one who cannot sleep well, okay. Who finds a volume of Wordsworth poem is the only sure sporific. Sporific means, sporific is a kind of medicine that is given to those person who does not feel sleepy. So sorry, those people who do not feel sleepy, and this is a drug to induce them feel sleepy, okay. But that was Borrow's malice. The famous old plan of counting sheep jumping over a stile has never served a turn. Now what it is actually a traditional approach, that whenever one finds unsleepy, what he did, he just imagined that there are sheep, and he imagined them to jump over the wall, okay. So this creates them sleepy. This is actually their tradition that they follow. I have herded imaginary sheep until they insisted on turning themselves into white bears or blue pigs, and I defy any reasonable man to fall asleep while mustering a herd of stupid swine. Okay, so because maybe possible the author feels insomnia, or author is a victim of insomnia, so he is just finding himself um to anything, or he's just finding a thing that can make him sleep. Okay, or make him feel sleep. The author points out that now the options are: sleep can easily be induced, the artificial means of inducing sleep are not good, artificial ways of inducing sleep are ineffective, and artificial ways of inducing sleep are expensive. Now, because the author points out here that what he feels, because he tried everything but he did not feel sleepy, so he said that sleep can easily be induced. No, because he tried many things, but he did not find himself sleepy. The artificial means of inducing sleep are not good. It is not given over here. Artificial ways of inducing sleep are ineffective, and artificial ways of inducing sleep are expensive. Expensive is not given over here. Therefore, the correct answer will be. Now, as you can see all these options, let us read these one by one. Sleep can easily be induced. Now, of course, as you have seen that the author has adopted many methods to get sleep, but he did not feel sleepy. Now, the artificial means of inducing sleep are not good. So he has not talked about that because those were ineffective for him, not for others maybe. Artificial ways of inducing sleep are ineffective. Now, as you read the first line, the artificial ways of inducing sleep are legion. Legion means innumerable. It means there are many. Legion means a large number. Okay, and are only alike in their ineffectuality. It means that they are ineffective and they are same in their ineffectuality. It means all the methods are same, that they are ineffective. So yes, according to this, C answer will be correct because he found that these artificial ways of inducing sleep are ineffective. Artificial ways of inducing sleep are expensive. No, as he has talked about all those things which are not expensive at all, so you can say C will be the correct answer. So C will be the correct answer, that is artificial ways of inducing sleep are ineffective. Now let us move to the next question. The next question is, according to the author, the character in Lavengro resorts to external aids to get some sleep, is an admirer of Wordsworth, spends sleepless nights reading Wordsworth, and is an avid reader of poetry. Okay. So according to this, what is there? The artificial ways of inducing sleep are legion and are only alike in their ineffectuality. In Lavengro, there is an impossible character, a victim of insomnia, who finds that a volume. Now, we are talking about, according to the author, the character in Lavengro. Okay, so they are talking about the character who is in Lavengro. He was insomnia. So who found that a volume of Wordsworth poem is the only sure is horrific. It means it was the only thing that can make him sleep. But that was Borrow's malice. It means it was just like in a story where he was just to become a reader of it. Okay, so he spent sleepless nights reading Wordsworth, or is an avid reader of poetry, or is an admirer of Wordsworth, or resorts to external aids to get some sleep. So Lavengro was the character who just used to read Wordsworth because he felt that it is the only sure sporific. It means he found Wordsworth to be the sporific for him. So he is an avid reader of poetry will be the correct answer. So D will be the correct answer. Now let us move to the next question. The author uses impossible for the character of Lavengro in the sense of funny, unrealistic, queer, or imaginary. Of course, as I told you, impossible character means who is not existed. So it should be imaginary. So the correct answer should be imaginary. That is D. Now let us move to the next question. Borrow's malice is most probably directed at sleeplessness, the artificial ways of inducing sleep, Wordsworth poetry, or poetry in general. So it is poetry in general. Answer is D. Next question is, in order to cure his insomnia, the writer does a lot of reading, vainly tries to concentrate on imaginary situations, keeps a flock of sheep, or counts sheep jumping over a stile. As you can see in this line, the famous old plan of counting sheep jumping over a stile has never served a turn. I have herded imaginary sheep until they insisted on turning themselves into white bears or blue pigs, and I defy any reasonable man to fall asleep while mustering a herd of stupid swine. Okay, so he did not read, vainly tries to concentration on imaginary situations. So it should be D, that is count sheep jumping over a stile. Okay, now we'll do passage number 15. So we'll read passage number 15 now. This is again a very important passage. I hope you understood passage number 14. Now we'll do passage number 15 in this session. So first of all, let us read the passage first, and after that we'll do the questions. Experiments with sulfonamides have made clear a fact about germs which is gaining increasing importance in fighting them. Germs, it seems, have the same ability as all the other living things gradually to change themselves to suit new conditions. But as the generation of germs lasts only 20, 25 or 30 minutes before all the germs divide to form a new ones. So experiments with the sulfonamides have made clear fact about germs which is gaining increasing importance in fighting them. Okay, it means whenever we try to drain the germs, they multiple because they only take 15 to 20 minutes, 20 to 25 or to 30 minutes just to double or to multiply them. But as the generation of germs last only 20, 25 or 30 minutes before all the germs divide to form new ones. Changes that would take in many years in animals can be achieved by germs in just a few hours. So changes that we can see in animals in many years, it can be seen in germs only within a few hours. Okay, perhaps then you give attacking germ a dose of sulfonamides, which upsets them somewhat. Them somewhat means maybe they make them upset for a little time, but it is not strong enough to prevent them from multiplying. But it does not make them to prevent. It does not prevent them to be a number of, okay, because they multiply very easily. So if so, they were very rapidly develop new parts which enable them to resist the effects of the drug. After this has happened, even the strongest dose will fail to disturb them. So here we have talked about germs who multiply themselves very easily, okay, and within a small span of time. So let us start doing the questions. This is again the smallest in the easy paragraph. So the first question is, experiments with sulfonamides have led to the important discovery that, now the options are germs are living things and can change themselves to suit new conditions. One generation of germs lasts only 20, 25 and 30 minutes. Germs can adjust themselves to live and multiply in new conditions. Germs are not disturbed even by the strongest possible dose of sulfonamides. Now, experiments with sulfonamides have led to important discovery that, what is it? Germs are not disturbed even. As you can see that even the strongest dose of sulfonamides, they are ineffective. Okay, it is ineffective. So the answer will be D. Now, the second question is, like all other living things, germs can themselves to suit new condition. Can change themselves to suit new conditions. This adjustment is possible because the germs have the power of fluctuation, the power of compliance, the power of adaptability, and the power of adaptability. Now, as you can see in this sentence, the second sentence, germs, it seems, have the same ability as all the other living things gradually to change themselves to suit new conditions. It means even in the new conditions, they can change. Okay, it even in the new situations, they also suit them, they can change. So it is called the power of adaptability. Therefore, the answer will be D. Now, the meaning of this is, sorry, the next question is, since jumps can change themselves to suit new conditions, the task of fighting them has become, the all questions are absolutely impossible, much easier, much more difficult, increasingly important. Now, since germs can change themselves to suit new conditions, the task of fighting them. Now, as you can see over here, things gradually to change themselves to new conditions, but as the generation of germs last only 20, 25, or 30 minutes before all germs divide to form new ones. Changes that would may take many years in animals can be achieved in germs in few hours. Perhaps then you give attacking germ a dose of sulfonamide, um, which upsets them somewhat but is strong to prevent enough from them multiplying. If so, they will rapidly, very rapidly develop new parts which enable them to resist the effect of the drug. And this happened even in the strongest dose will fail to disturb them. Obviously, if the task of fighting them has become, what has it become? It has become, mm, as you can see over here, sulfonamides have made a clear fact about germs which is gaining increasing importance in fighting them. Okay, so experiments with, basically if we talk about experiments, okay, experiments with the sulfonamides have made a clear fact about germs which is gaining increasing importance in fighting them. Okay, so here we have talked about experiments with the sulfonamides have made a clear fact that about germs, fact about germs which is gaining increasing importance in fighting them. But we are talking about, since germs can change themselves to suit new conditions, the task of fighting them has become, yes, have become much more difficult, because every time they used to, you can say, used to give them dose just to ruin them, but they eventually what they do, before dying they got multiple, so it has become much more difficult. Though it is gaining increasing importance, yet it is much more difficult. So here answer will be C. Okay, now the next is experiments with sulfonamides. Okay, the question is, germs which are not distributed even by the strongest possible dose of the sulfonamides are said to have become. Now they have talked about germs, so immortal, immune, improvised, or increasingly important. Obviously, they are becoming immortal. Okay, it means those who cannot die. So A will be the correct answer, because germs which are not disturbed uh, even by the strongest possible dose of the sulfonamides are said to have become immortal. It means they cannot die now. Okay. Now, let us move to the next question. One generation of germs expires, bringing into existence the next generation. So, this is in 20 minutes, in 25 minutes, in not more than half an hour, or in a few hours. As you can see over here, it is written, but as the generation of germs lasts only 20, 25, or 30 minutes before all germs divide to form new ones, changes would take many years, and animals can be achieved only in a few hours. So, it take only a few hours. So D will be the correct answer. Okay. Now here the session ends. We have done all the three comprehensions, and these are somewhere very easy but a little tricky in last two passages. So I hope you understood each and every passage um, thoroughly. Now, thanks to you. In the next session, we'll be doing some more passages. Thanks to you.